water with my these smart goggles. I love them because they can track not only how far I've got, but more importantly to me as a sprinter, how fast I've gone too. Okay, so I just want to thank you all for investing into your own education as coaches. I think that one of the coolest things about swimming is that coaches are so willing to share what has made them successful. And between Frank and between Russell, you have two of the very, very best to share the most contemporary knowledge in the whole sport, whether it be from building the culture to the analytics that you need to focus on in order to get your swimmers going fast. Okay, so just want to wish you all the best. Pay attention. You got some amazing, amazing education coming your way.
All right, here to talk about.
All right, that was Nathan, Adrian. And now let's welcome Coach Frank. And Coach Blake. Coach Vishnu. And Coach Vishnu.
I was younger in that picture. Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi.
I wanted to make sure I thanked all of our hosts. So, Christina, Youngji, Juni, coaches that have helped us translate to you. I hope you had a good night's sleep. I hope you're awake. And today we're going to talk about what I think is the most important things about being a coach. Okay. Whoops.
Can I talk? Ya, selamat pagi. Jadi hari ini Frank akan menyampaikan, ini judulnya cukup menarik ya. Apa yang pelatih selalu idamkan, apa yang pelatih selalu inginkan, tujuan pelatih selama ini untuk teman-teman semua. Ini nanti ujungnya untuk menjadi Olympian. Mudah-mudahan.
So the first page. Next page.
Okay.
So, this quote, leadership is about you. Or excuse me, leadership is not about you, but it starts with you. To me, that's very important as a coach. It's not about you, but you are the leader. So, when you're working with your athletes, remember that. It's not about me. It's about them. They look to you, you're their leader.
Oke, jadi successful coaching. Ya, pelatih yang sukses itu bukan hanya mengenai diri kalian sendiri, ya, tapi lebih kepada dimulai dari kalian dan juga tentunya semuanya harus kembali kepada atlet kalian sendiri untuk bisa maju.
So, I'm going to tell you that some of the things that I think when I've seen the very best coaches, and I'm talking about the very best coaches of young people and the very best coaches of Olympians. They're the ones that learn the things that are most important that made them great coaches. And being consistent. Don't be this way with your personality. Be consistent. Be a good listener. Listen to what's happening, how things are with your team.
Oke, jadi sebagai pelatih, baik pelatih kelompok umur sampai juga dengan pelatih elit, ya, ini kita lihat di screen ya, harus konsisten, jangan naik turun, jangan kadang-kadang moody ya gitu ya. Terus be a good listener, jadi pendengar yang baik. Jadi selalu kalau ada keluhan dari perenang, ada keluhan dari tim, kita harus dengar dan kita harus cari solusi.
So many coaches have asked me, why do you, when you talk to your team, how do you know what to say? How do you know they're not going to fall asleep and their eyes aren't going to wander? What are you going to say to your team that's going to make a difference to them?
Oke, ya. Jadi tadi juga menjadi pendengar yang baik. Jadi apa yang harus dilakukan ketika ada sesuatu, ada masalah atau apa yang kita harus bisa memberikan solusi tersebut kepada tim, kepada perenang tersebut, supaya kita juga bisa mencari solusi dan ide-ide yang baru atau kemarin kita bahas kreativitas ini.
So here's my first story as a college coach. I was 28 years old. First time I'm a head coach for older college-age kids. So I think this talk is going to be amazing. I'm going to say things that they're going to just want to jump up and just run out and do whatever I tell them. And so as I started talking, I noticed some of this. And I noticed some of this. And I thought, I was so disappointed in me that I couldn't keep their attention. And so I thought about that. Why? Why were some of them like this? And why was it up there? It was because they were my thoughts. But what I learned, before you talk to a team, trade places. If I was sitting where you are, what do I want my coach to say to me? What do I want my coach to say to me that's going to inspire me, that's going to help me be better, that's going to teach me a lesson in life? So turn your mind around. You be the person sitting here. You wonder what they want to ask you. And when you do that, you connect with the team.
Oke. Jadi ketika umur 28 tahun, Coach Frank menjadi pelatih kepala atau head coach di sebuah universitas. Dia merasa bahwa dia sudah tahu semuanya dan dia mulai memberikan kuliah gitu ya, semacam seminar gitu kepada swimmersnya. Tapi kadang-kadang dia merasa bahwa audiensnya atau pesertanya itu ngantuk dan tidak tertarik sama apa yang disampaikan oleh dia, dan akhirnya dia mencoba untuk membalik, jadi memposisikan kalian untuk menjadi audiens atau pendengarnya. Apa sih yang ingin didengar, apa yang ingin kalian dengar mengenai kemajuannya gimana, programnya gimana. Jadi dari situ pelan-pelan knowledge, pengetahuan kalian, wawasan kalian juga akan bertambah.
So many of you said that you don't have a lot of pool time, or you have many athletes in one lane. So you need to be creative. So if you don't have a lot of pool time, then you do things outside of the pool. You have running races to get kids. You do a biathlon, something where they can't get in the water, but they do races. They play games. You make them part of a team in the water or outside of the water. You get them to be in shape. You get them to learn how to win, learn how to lose. You teach them all sorts of different things if you can't have enough water time. And then, if you only have limited water time, one of the things that Russell said that was so important about learning the drills, what did he say about the drills? The most important thing is to do the drill correctly. And as you get better at the drill, you can do it faster. And eventually, you do the drill very fast. So, if you have many in one lane, then they just go maybe 2 at a time, or 1 at a time, to do the drill right, and then eventually to do it fast. And it might be, I don't want to say too much, but it might be, we had a big pool. We had a lot of swimmers. Early on in the season, we would have this game. Everybody would line up in one lane. So the first person, every 5 seconds, someone else went. So you would swim down one lane, jump out of the pool, touch the wall, run back, dive into the next lane, and you would zigzag down the pool like this, all the way down. But you had to get out of the pool after 25 yards. Out of the pool, touch the wall, run back, dive in, swim another length, touch the pool, swim again, touch the wall. Just be creative. And they loved it, but they were exhausted. They got out of the pool 18 times.
Ngerti kan? Ya, jadi kalau bagi teman-teman yang tadi kemarin tidak mempunyai fasilitas kolam yang cukup atau mungkin hanya satu lintasan isinya bisa 30 orang di sana gitu. Jadi Frank menyampaikan be kreatif ya, banyak hal-hal kemarin sampaikan, tidak perlu mungkin harus semuanya di air atau bisa gantian, yang sebagian bisa lari dulu, setelah itu mereka selesai mereka bisa berenang, dan yang setelah renang bisa lari, atau bisa tadi disampaikan melakukan drill ya, drill bisa sekali jalan 2 atau satu-satu sampai betul-betul diulang-ulang sampai itu berhasil. Atau mungkin kalau kolamnya besar ya kita bisa kayak tadi kemarin games ya, zigzag lintasan 1 ke sana, balik lintasan 2, sana lintasan 3, lintasan 4 dan seterusnya.
So you could, if you have limited pool time, maybe they swim, maybe you have 20 swimmers, 2 lanes, 20 swimmers, 3 lanes. So you can have 10 swimmers swimming, 10 swimmers jumping rope while they're swimming, or 10 swimmers doing push-ups and jumping rope. And just do whatever you have, be creative. Just think of things that will make them better. And do you remember, we used to have some really good sprinters. Roland Schoolman, he was one of the best in the world. And so sometimes we would take, I don't know if I should say all these things, Russell, but sometimes we would line up my sprinters, okay? Line them up on the wall, and we'd take a volleyball. And so, throw it at the sprinter, and we'd have to, get out of the way. And they got to be good. And then, I took a tennis ball, started throwing it at the pit. Exactly. But just try, and you can do it with young kids. With something, a ball that doesn't hurt them, but it's fun, and you teach them movement and quickness.
Ya, jadi Coach Frank pernah mempunyai salah satu sprinter dunia ya, Roland Schoolman, terima waktu bebas. Kadang-kadang dia juga melakukan drill di darat, ya seperti tadi melempar bola dan berenang itu untuk mencoba untuk menghindar ya, kayak mungkin teman-teman tahu dodgeball. Jadi bisa pakai bola tenis atau mungkin bola volley, tapi agak jauh ya. Kalau di sini terkena muka, kena tuntut kan ya. Ya, jadi itu hal-hal kreatif yang bisa dilakukan untuk teman-teman kalau memang mempunyai masalah dengan fasilitas kolam tadi.
And we talked about this yesterday. Steal, be a thief, steal other people's ideas. Listen and go, I like that. Writing it down. So be a thief, and then be who you are. I'm Frank. That's Russell. We Snoop. Be who you are. Don't try to be someone different. I mean, you watch a coach and they're successful, and you think that coach yells all the time. I need to yell. That's not you. Don't do that.
Oke, jadi yang keempat ya, kita curi ilmu orang ya. Kalau misalkan kalian lagi lihat pelatih dunia atau perang dunia, dia ngapain pemanasannya, catat aja apa-apa ya. Saya juga dengan Coach Albert kalau di kemarin Asian Games kejuaraan dunia juga kita lihat, kita observe, oh begini caranya, oh ternyata begini. Jangan malu ya. Ya mungkin kalau kita bisa tanya, kita tanya. Kemudian be otentik, jadi diri sendiri ya. jadi diri kalian sendiri, jangan pernah merasa inferior atau minder atau apa. Kalian harus yakin kan, apa tetap percaya diri.
Because we all have strengths and we all have weaknesses. But that's, our personalities are different, that's okay.
Ya, jadi kita punya kelebihan dan kekurangan. Ya, kekurangan kita coba tutupi dengan cara-cara belajar yang baru. Kelebihan kita bisa share juga dengan teman-teman.
I think today with young people, especially today, you want to use a compass. So you want your team to go in a direction, not this, not a map. Be open. Just know that, okay, we want to get better. We can get better going in this direction. We don't have to just be exactly this way.
Ya, jadi gunakan kompas karena kompas itu tujuannya jelas, utara, selatan, barat, timur. Ya, kalau kita gunakan map, kita mesti berliku-liku. Yang penting tujuan kita jelas. Kita mau maju, kita mau ke utara, lurus jelas.
So, the next page. I used to tell my team stories, personal stories. Sometimes I would read a story, and this was to college kids. This is not to just age group kids. This was to college kids, but you can read a story to your team sometimes. It's, you want to sit down and you want them to know that you're human, that you care, you know about them. And so back in the early 1990s, there was a book very popular in the United States. It was called Chicken Soup for the Soul.
Oke, jadi untuk menjadi pelatih yang baik, kita juga bisa harus menyampaikan apa yang kita pikirkan, mungkin dalam bentuk menceritakan storytelling, menceritakan apa isi sebuah buku, apa isi sebuah artikel. Ya, salah satunya dulu pernah ada buku yang judulnya Chicken Soup for the Soul. Ya, jadi kalau diartikan sebetulnya adalah sebuah mangkok yang bisa mengartikan apa itu arti kehidupan.
And so I sat there, and the stories are maybe 2 pages, maybe 3 pages long. They're very short stories about people's adversities. And so I would read a story about a true story about someone's adversity. And it was just me relating to them, that no matter what happened, they were going to be okay. They could see that other people had adversity, and adversity was a great teacher. So they could see it, and I would read it to them, and so they knew that I was trying to teach them something that they could use, and then we would go practice.
Jadi isi buku itu, jadi cerita yang disampaikan Coach Frank itu kepada perenang adalah bagaimanapun perbedaan, lebih kekurangan atau kelebihan dari setiap perenang itu, mereka tetap harus bisa menjalankan dan mencapai tujuan tersebut. Jadi itu tetap memberikan motivasi dan kepercayaan diri pada para perenangnya.
So let's talk about being a good planner. This is very important because this is being consistent. And so you know your team, you know your athletes, and your job is to use a plan that you believe is going to make them better. So, Monday, maybe Monday is a day, a lot of kicking, streamlining, drills. Maybe Tuesday is different. Maybe Tuesday is more dry land because you don't have enough pool time. Maybe it's more dry land. Maybe it's maybe kicking on your back, something different. Maybe underwater kicking. More drills. Wednesday is something, maybe swimming fast. You want to swim fast on Wednesday. Thursday, you want to do It's okay if your swimmers know what the plan is. They know what the emphasis is. They don't know exactly what you're going to do, but they know what the emphasis is. I think swimmers like to know that Monday, we're going to kick. Tuesday, we're going to pull, or we're going to do drills. Wednesday, we're going to swim fast. I think having a plan is very, very consistent with being a good coach.
Oke. Dan yang ketiga adalah planning ya, perencanaan. Jadi perenang-perenang atau atlet kalian ini boleh tahu plan kita seperti apa, tapi tidak terlalu detail hari ini mau ngapain. Tapi intinya Senin misalkan kita akan banyak kicking, ya mereka tahu itu akan wah kita banyak kaki ini. Selasa mungkin drill atau mungkin dry land karena kolamnya nggak tersedia atau penuh. Rabu bisa sprint atau aerobik atau endurance apapun itulah intinya. Intinya mereka tahu bahwa kita juga merencanakan program tersebut, jadi mereka juga merasa percaya terhadap pelatih, ya, terhadap kalian.
Coaching, teaching, same. Coach, teacher, coach, teacher, coach, teacher, coach, teacher. It's the same. You're teaching, you're coaching. In the water, outside of the water.
Jadi pelatih dan guru itu kurang lebih sama ya, fungsinya, tujuannya itu sama. Jadi melatih dan juga membimbing para atlet-atlet kalian.
So, if you practice is what you're teaching, so at a race, in practice, let's say you have athletes that get very angry if they don't swim their best time or something. And so they take their goggles off, throw their goggles down, take the cap off, throw their cap down. That's not the way you teach responsibility. That's not how you teach adversity. That's not how you don't let that go. Because they'll do that in a race. And that's not, they're not learning anything. They're doing things that you do not want them to do, so you don't let them do it in practice, so they don't do it in a meet.
Oke. Jadi ketika ada perenang yang mungkin tidak mencapai targetnya, kemudian kesal, banting topi, banting kacamata, ya. Nah ini juga seharusnya tidak boleh kita biarkan. Ya. Teman-teman juga harus ajarkan bagaimana cara menghadapi sebuah kegagalan atau mungkin belum bisa berhasil dan mencoba lagi.
So, for you as a coach, if you want to be a coach for a long time, you have to develop things, your strengths. You know what your weaknesses are. You study, you try and get better at those things. But the whole time you're trying to grow, you're trying to get your athletes to grow. So it's the same. You're all trying to get better. You're trying to get better. They're trying to get better. You're teaching them. They're learning. They follow what you do. If you say swear words, if you show anger, if you show frustration, that's what they learn.
Oke, jadi kalau kita ingin menjadi pelatih untuk jangka waktu yang panjang, harap diketahui bahwa apa yang kita lakukan itu most of the time seringnya itu akan ditiru oleh murid-murid kita. Kalau kita sering ya kata kasar atau marah-marah atau teriak atau sebagainya, mungkin mereka belajar bahwa pelatih saya seperti ini, saya juga bisa seperti itu. Ya, jadi apa yang kita lakukan mungkin ditiru oleh mereka. Jadi seharusnya kita juga bisa bersikap lebih baik dan juga bahwa kita ini adalah pengajar, mereka itu adalah pelajar. Ya, jadi saling berhubungan satu sama lain.
So when Russell was talking about drills, teaching, learning, snorkel, fins, keeping your line, rotation, those things are very, very important. But what makes them want to learn that is to have fun. You have to have some sort of fun in practice. That doesn't mean it's just nobody cares and we're just playing games. No, you you make it fun. You figure out how to let them know your personality and say, okay, we're going to try and do this because we want to be straight like an arrow. We want to be, we don't want too much rotation because it's like a washing machine. We don't want to be a washing machine. You know, you use words to make your practices fun and your kids will enjoy it and they'll learn it.
Oke, jadi kemarin Rasa juga mengajarkan bagaimana drill, body rotasi, streamline dan seterusnya. Nah ini juga kita penting harus sampaikan dengan cara yang lebih santai, lebih fun, ya, jadi menyenangkan, tidak membosankan karena perenang itu mereka kadang-kadang merasa bosan, apalagi lihat muka-muka pelatih itu yang kadang-kadang serem gitu kan. Ya, jadi harus fun. Dari situ mereka akan juga bisa menikmati dan bisa progres.
Pretty much almost everyone in here is wearing this shirt, the same shirt. That makes you a team. You're very proud of that. Very proud of this logo. Same with your team. They should be proud. Teach them to be proud of they belong to something. They belong to something that's special to them. You belong to Aspen. Maybe you don't. You should belong to Aspen. Because it's thousands of coaches that share their ideas and want to be part of you, and you share your ideas with them. So think about team as a group that's moving forward and trying to be representing each other. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later when I talk about the national team and what we did with our Olympic teams. But just know that you can, being a part of something, you should be proud.
Oke, jadi teman-teman di sini menggunakan kaos yang sama semua, ya. Jadi harus mempunyai, teman-teman juga harus mempunyai kebanggaan, ya, mungkin dari ASKA atau Aquatic Indonesia, dan bersama-sama membangun tujuannya satu untuk meningkatkan prestasi renang di Indonesia. Jadi begitu juga dengan berenang, atlet juga harus mempunyai kebanggaan kalau mereka pakai jaket Indonesia, artinya mewakili Indonesia, mewakili klub, misalkan pakai baju klub, misalkan. Nah itu jadi harus mempunyai sense of belonging kemarin, perasaan untuk memiliki dan kebanggaan.
So Vishnu and I just raced, and he beat me. He won, I was second. So I look at him and maybe I'm disappointed, but I shake his hand, and in my mind, I look at him and I think, next time I beat you. But it's sportsmanship. But it's okay because it's competition. Someday I'm gonna win. He's gonna get second. But this time he beat me. But you shake his hand, you teach your athletes to shake their hand, but always think, next time, me, next time.
Ya, ini barusan Frank menyampaikan bagaimana cara kita mengajarkan sportivitas, ya, sportsmanship. Ya, jadi anak-anak didik kalian kalau misalkan bertanding, kalau menang jangan sombong, tetap kalau diajak salaman harus mau. Sportivitas. Begitu juga kalau misalkan dia kalah nomor 2, tetap harus salaman, ucapin selamat, tapi next time saya akan coba kalahin kamu gitu ya. Jadi ini dibiasakan karena ini di Amerika juga sudah menjadi habit di perang dunia pun melakukan hal yang sama gitu. Ya.
Okay, so we're talking about 12 and unders, young people that have a lot of energy, and you're trying to figure out what to do with that energy. And so you're teaching them how to swim. You're teaching them drills. You're teaching them all the things that they need to be taught when they're very young. And you can begin to teach them, you can begin to help them get stronger. And so doing dry land things with their body weight is a good way to get stronger. It's like I told you before, playing dodgeball is good because of the movement. Jumping rope is good. Maybe for the first time, they try and do a pull-up. A pull-up. If you can do a pull-up, that's all of your body weight being pulled just by your arms and your back, shoulders, your lats. But when you're in the water supports you. So if you can do this, imagine what you can do when the water supports you, the power that you have. So I think pull-ups for 12 and unders is the best thing, but it has to be done in control. You don't want them to release too hard because that will hurt their shoulders. Just control. And then you can, when they can't do it, have their teammates help them until they can do one by themselves. So any kind of push-ups, any kind of different things you can do. We used to do some, I can't do them anymore, but we used to do wheelbarrows where you would hold on to someone's ankles, and then they would walk on their hands. You would hold them, and just go for a little bit, and then switch. Because it helps their core. It teaches them to hold their core. And so your streamline is so much better. Your body position is so much better.
Oke, jadi ini untuk 12 and under, 12 ke bawah. Ya, bagaimana caranya mengenalkan latihan-latihan selain drill dan teknik di air, juga di dryland, di daratnya itu dikenalkan mungkin skipping, mungkin lari, atau mungkin push up, tadi juga pull ups. Itu sangat bagus buat umur 12 ke bawah, tapi harus betul-betul dijagain ya. Pertama mungkin harus dibantu, karena kalau pull up sudah mampu sendiri, nah di airnya itu dia akan lebih powerful di
Terrence.
ya.
Terrence. Play this game? Okay. Ready? You pull your hand back before you hit. Okay, good. Now get down. Give your legs.
Main gerobak ya, yang didorong
Go forward.
ya. Jadi ini contoh latihan body weight.
Okay. Just games. Just different games. Things you can do outside of the water. Give them a hand.
Ya. Jadi latihan-latihan yang mudah dan simpel sebetulnya bisa dilakukan, nggak usah harus di air. Jadi bisa tadi main gerobak, refleks.
So, thank you. So, 12 and unders. Fun. Let's have fun. Because if they have fun, they're coming back tomorrow. If they're not having fun, don't send me to practice. I don't want to practice. But if they're having fun, like Terrence, I'm coming. My buddies, my friends, and we get to play games, and we get to learn how to swim fast. It becomes awesome. And you form a family, and everybody wears the same shirt, and they're very proud. And you're proud to be their coach. And everybody in the community starts to notice, wow, I want my son to be like Terrence.
Ya, jadi harus fun, menyenangkan. Jadi pastinya anak-anak juga pasti akan ketagihan, oh saya besok mau balik lagi, mau latihan lagi, dan seterusnya. Dan juga mempunyai perasaan bangga gitu ya, ini kita pakai baju yang sama nih. Kalau teman-teman lihat, oh, saya mau gabung juga deh, gitu ya. Dari situlah awalnya itu sense of belonging.
So, we're going to talk about the older athlete now. Oh boy. Oh boy. Different. Terrence sees girls. Girls see Terrence. Everybody's different. So, now we're talking about different things, different mindset. Maybe my boyfriend doesn't swim. I want to be near my boyfriend. I don't want to swim anymore. My girlfriend, she doesn't swim. I want to be with my girlfriend. I don't want to swim anymore. social media. They say bad things. They tell me that Terrence he doesn't have a girlfriend because he wants to swim instead. What's the matter with him? He's crazy. I mean, they say bad things, but it's that young man. That's Terrence. That's who he is. Swimming is what he does, but this is Terrence. He's a swimmer. It's not he's Terrence the swimmer. That's all. No, he's a good person. He has good values. He studies hard. He tries to do very well, and he has many friends. And swimming is what he tries to excel into. You have to separate those two. It can't be. If I do bad as a swimmer, I'm nobody. That's not true. That's what drives swimmers away. That's what drives athletes away, is when their identity is only about what they do.
Oke, nah ini udah masuk ke remaja. Ya, jadi tantangannya udah bertambah, mulai pacaran dan seterusnya. Jadi kalau ya teman dekatnya lah kita bilang latihan, dia udah mulai malas-malas latihan. Begitu juga sebaliknya. Jadi identitas perenang juga diartikulasikan sebagai kalau dia perenangnya tidak berprestasi, nggak pernah menang dan sebagainya, dia menjadi orang yang kurang mampu. Nah itu jangan, itu harus pisahkan bahwa renang itu dengan kehidupan pribadi itu adalah dua hal yang berbeda. Ya, jadi yang kita cap atau kita langsung judge bahwa si perenang ini adalah orang yang kurang baik karena berenang nggak cepat lah. Ya, harus dipisahkan.
So, teacher, coach, you are trying to teach your athletes to solve problems. So, when something happens in a race, their goggles fall off. Should they stop? No, they keep going. Or they maybe their parents forget, or the car breaks down on the way to swimming, and they don't get to warm up. It's okay, you're going to swim. Teach them to solve problems, because if they can solve little problems, they'll eventually solve big problems, and there won't be any more. They won't have as many problems. And when you don't have as many problems, you don't have drama. Oh, I didn't get there. My mom was too late. The car broke down. I can't swim. They won't have. They'll be fine. They'll know that. Okay, so it happened. I can do it.
Oke. Jadi juga diajarkan mental perenang juga, atlet-atlet kita harus diajarkan, misalkan kacamatanya masuk air kecopot, tetap harus bertanding apapun itu hasilnya. Sama juga ketika kalau mau datang ke pertandingan, mobilnya mogok, telat jadi nggak sempat warm up, tetap harus ikut race-nya apapun itu hasilnya. Jadi tidak ada alasan, dan dari situ mereka bisa memecahkan masalah itu ya, jadi problem solving itu mereka bisa belajar dan akhirnya mereka bisa mengatasinya sendiri nanti.
There's a difference between mental toughness and being in mental pliability. When I was a young coach and a swimmer didn't swim very well, a lot of times we would say very bad things to him. You quit. You gave up. You're a baby. I don't want to coach you. You're going to act like that. How come? We would say negative things instead of taking the time to think, okay, what happened? What happened? You were so ready to swim well, but why didn't you swim well? You asked, you figured this person out, and there's something going on in their minds that's keeping them from being the best they can be. Because so often in life, especially in sport is 90% mental and 10%. And so it's important that you don't belittle or ridicule I mean, if it's something where you say, look, we've worked very hard on that, you can't make that mistake. We've worked too hard. And so it's okay to reprimand, but don't belittle Terrence. Don't belittle him in front of his teammates and everybody else. You want to teach, you're a teacher. Teaching by yelling and screaming and saying and quitting and you're a baby and I don't like that and you should go sit over there or you don't belong on the team anymore. What has he learned? He already knows it was a bad swim.
Oke, jadi mental pliability ini ketika pernah kita tidak melakukan pertandingan yang baik, terus kita panggil, kita marahin, payah, kamu berhenti aja, mau renang, nggak ada bakat dan sebagainya. Ya, jadi disampaikan bahwa kalau terus dihukum, nah atletnya tidak belajar apa-apa. Dia udah tahu bahwa dia berenangnya juga tidak bagus gitu. Instead kita harus tanyakan kenapa dan bagaimana, kok bisa seperti itu dan seterusnya. Karena dalam pertandingan itu 90% itu adalah mental. Jadi mental atlet itu yang harus kita perbaiki. Jadi nggak perlu dimaki-maki lah seperti itu.
It's important in your practices, it's dress rehearsal. So, if we're going to have a play, when the curtain goes up, the actors don't go, oh gosh, what are my lines? They know their lines. So, it's important that you have practices that are dress rehearsal, meaning, okay, this is what we do. Here's the starting block. This is what I want you to think about. Have them prepared. So you do that in practice. You teach them in practice the things that what a swim meet is going to be like, what it's going to feel like. You know, they'll race one another. But it's okay. They'll get used to that. So racing becomes exciting as opposed to, I don't do it enough, I'm afraid. The more you do something, the better you become at it.
Oke, jadi berlatih. Jadi persiapan bertanding itu sebisa mungkin dilakukan dalam latihan. Bagaimana menghadapi start, ya. Jadi mereka, mindset mereka, pikiran mereka itu sudah terbiasa. Jadi mau tampil tuh mereka harus tahu tekniknya seperti apa, loncatnya, streamline-nya, stroke-nya seperti apa dalam latihan. Ya mungkin teman-teman sini juga sudah mungkin sering mengadakan time trial, ya situasinya sama seperti pertandingan. Jadi itulah yang harus dilakukan sering agar atlet juga terbiasa menghadapi mental pertandingan ini.
It's good to take your athletes out of their comfort zone because so many athletes routine. I need to sleep 9 hours. I need to eat the same breakfast. I need to get there an hour and a half before I swim. I need to have my right suit. I need to have this. Sometimes it's better to do this. Practice. No warm up. Brian, correct? Your name is Brian? Alan. Okay. I say to him, Alan, Terrence, Vishnu, Russell, get on the blocks. No warm up. On the blocks. You, and you. No warm up. Just have your suit on. You just came out of the locker room. And I say to you, okay, your best time in the 50 freestyle is 25. Today, no warm up. You have to go under 27. 26, under 26.5. Coach, I'm not warmed up. I don't care, 26.5. Russell, your best time for the backstroke is 30 seconds. Russell, today, right now, under 31.5. Vishnu, 100 freestyle, best time 55. So today, no warm up, gotta go under 57.5. And then the last person, Terrence, I say to him, okay, best time 100 butterfly, 105, 110, you gotta break, you have to go 112. If three of you do it, three, the whole team gets out of practice. 3 of the 4, they do it. No warm up, you just put them on the block, say this is what you're doing. He's nervous. He's nervous. He's nervous. The whole team is excited. We get to go home. If we get to go home, come on, Terrence, come on, Russell, come on, what you do, come on. They're excited. So teach that they can do things without always having to, I need my 9 hours of sleep. I have to have my power bar. Hour and a half before the meet starts, I gotta warm up. Then I'd have to put on my suit special way. Baloney, get on the blocks now. No warm up. Cold turkey.
Ya, jadi kita di Amerika juga dulu pernah ya. Jadi sekali-sekali kita harus coba peran-peran ini keluar dari zona nyaman mereka. Jadi biasanya harus kalau mau tampil maksimal tidur 9 jam, makan yang bagus dan seterusnya. Nah sekali-sekali kita harus coba tanpa pemanasan, kita bisa bilangnya itu cold turkey. Jadi apa? Ayam baru keluar dari freezer masih dingin harus sprint. Nah ini untuk memberikan pengalaman bahwa tidak selamanya kondisi itu akan ideal. Ya, jadi ada 4 orang tadi kasih target, kalau 3 orang masuk semuanya boleh pulang. Nah ini menciptakan suasana tim yang kondusif, ya, selain juga menstimulasi dan memberikan itu tadi bahwa tidak selamanya kondisi itu akan nyaman. Harus mereka diajarkan seperti itu.
Sometimes, and oh yeah, by the way, Houston, I want your goggles. No goggles. They broke. They broke.
Ya, jadi kadang-kadang juga udah mau start, kita ambil gogglesnya, berenang tanpa goggles. Nah, ada bagian itu gogglesnya masuk air atau putus ya.
It's real life. Okay, when you get upset, when something happens, bad swim, crazy parents, something goes wrong at the meet, whatever, bad practice, don't give yourself a day. Don't make emotional decisions. Don't, because you're angry, don't think about it if you can. Sometimes you have to make a decision, but allow yourself 24 hours to think about everything. Because if you make a decision when you're angry, in 24 hours, you might wish you did not make that decision.
Ya, jadi apapun hasilnya, baik buruk, ya renangnya nggak capai target, hampir sedikit lagi pecah rekor dan seterusnya, terus membuat keputusan langsung pada saat itu juga, sebaiknya jangan tunggu 24 jam, ya, tunggu sehari, cool down dulu, tenangin dulu, ya apa yang harus dipikirkan, apa yang harus diputuskan, jangan sampai menyesal.
So, if I'm an athlete, remember I told you, I'd like to be here. What's the coach telling me that makes me feel good, excites me? I learn to look at you and know this is what you want to hear. So let's say we're going to do, today is Wednesday, and it's going to be a very hard practice. So, I say to you, Wishnu, today we're going to go 10 100s hard. Or, I say to Wishnu, today we're going 10 100s fast. What do you want to hear? You already know it's hard. So why would I just grind it in? I would want to inspire him. We're going to go 10 100s fast. And he would say, okay, I like that.
Ya, pemilihan kata juga penting ya. Jadi kadang-kadang kalau kita dengar kita hari ini 10/100, kalau hak itu ya istilahnya mati-matian lah, ya 10/100 mati-matian, mau mati beneran saya itu mungkin ya. Tapi kita hari ini akan berenang 10/100 cepat, secepat-cepatnya kalau kamu bisa paham.
One word. Oh, you did? Okay, one word.
Ya.
Hard and fast.
Ya, jadi dari hard to fast ya. Jadi hard itu kan kesan itu kalian akan menderita. Nah, digantilah kata-kata yang lebih
One word.
yang lebih motivational, lebih memotivasi.
So, sometimes I would walk out on the pull deck and I would say to the team, today, I'm going to give you a chance to get better. Today, I'm going to give you a chance to get better. And of course, they would look at me and go, oh, no. But I didn't come out and say, today, I'm going to kill you. No, today, I'm going to give you a chance to get better. They knew it was going to be hard, but it's just how you say things can change the whole day, can change the whole set, can change the whole practice. So learn to be clever with your words.
Oke, sama seperti tadi. Jadi kalau hari ini kita akan ada set ya, yang akan membuat kalian yang paling gak berusaha yang terbaik. Yaitu mungkin mereka udah tahu nih pasti setnya akan capek nih, wah ini pasti akan melelahkan lah gitu. Tapi instead of kadang-kadang, oke, hari ini kita, wah kalian hari ini pasti akan capek lah gitu segala macam. Nah itu pemilihan kata-katanya itu harus tepat supaya mereka tahu bahwa hari itu akan ada set berat, tapi paling tidak mental mereka nggak hancur di depan dulu. Gitu. Jadi wah jadi males-malesan. Gitu.
So we're going to talk about nurturing the team. Did you know that? Did you know that two horses can pull 3 times what one horse can pull? Team. When I say 4 swimmers up, no warm up, you're on the whatever, all of a sudden you're a team. You want them to swim fast. You want to go home. You want your team to beat the other team. So just know that 2 horses can pull 3 times what one can pull. And that's how you start talking to your team about what you can do, how you can do things. It's just a way to communicate with them. You want to be positive. They're here. You're here because you want to be ASCA. You want to be part of ASCA. You want to be part of a team. You want to talk about what you learned. You want to share what you learned. You can't wait to get to practice because you learned so much from Russell and the things that we were talking about. You can't wait to get back. So that's what the team is. You're together. See my hand? Smack it. He feels it. It's my hand. My fist. Knock him out. Is it better to be this? Or is it better to be this? This is what you want. This is the punch. And that's what 5 individuals or 1 unit.
Oke.
Be a unit.
Ya. Jadi ini menggambarkan jadi 2 akan lebih baik dari 1, akan lebih kuat dari 1. Jadi ini memberikan kesan bahwa persatuan itu ya diterapkan di dalam tim ya. Tidak ada satu hanya yang menonjol tapi semuanya itu kan to horse can pull. Jadi dua kuda bisa menarik 3 kali daripada hanya seekor kuda. Dan juga tim uniform ya, ini penting. Kadang-kadang disepelekan tapi kebanggaan memakai seragam itu memberikan moral booster ya. Jadi menambah moral atlet-atlet itu untuk saya nggak sendiri, saya bertanding walaupun sendiri di lintasan, kita tetap menjadi satu tim yang kuat gitu.
So, as a coach, how do you get your team to be better? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So, let's say those 6 days, you have good practices. That's a good week. Good practice, do good days, you have a good week. If you have good weeks, good month. If you put good months together, you have a good season. Teach your athletes 1 day at a time. You have a good Monday, you have a good Tuesday, You have a good Wednesday. You have a good Thursday. You have a good Friday. That's a good week. Good days, good week. Then we take that week. Next week we put Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then we get 2 good weeks. We can do the next, and then we have a good month. And when you have a good month, you put January, February, March, April. You have a good season. So that's the way our sport is. It's being in the moment. Who wants to follow a black line? Black line. I mean, gurgle in your ears. So your job is to motivate and to get them to pay attention. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, come back. Monday, Tuesday, weeks, months, years.
Ya, jadi ini juga prosesnya ya, itu terdiri dari sekumpulan. Nah itu nanti kan setiap minggu ada, jadi dari Senin sampai Sabtu latihan. Nah itu dikumpulkan menjadi minggu, setiap minggu. Nah setiap minggu nanti dikumpulkan menjadi setiap bulan. Nah ini prosesnya kalau misalkan semuanya bagus, setiap bulan dikumpulkan lagi menjadi season, misalkan 6 bulan atau per tahun. Nah jadi dari sekumpulan latihan-latihan yang tersebut akan menjadi tahun yang bagus, tahun yang baik, atau tahun yang buruk, seperti itu. Yaitu berhubungan dengan periodisasi misalnya. Nah, intinya kita juga harus bisa memotivasi. Jangan kita harus motivasi hari per hari atau sesi per sesi. Jangan kita langsung ambil dalam sebulan kalian harus bagus. Gitu. Jadi one day at a time itu artinya tiap hari kita fokus per sesinya itu harus kita motivasi.
Okay, I'm going to end this. I've been talking too long, but I'm going to end it with something I think is very, very important. So when I was coaching, and I was coaching college kids, they like to have a good time. Saturday, Friday night, Saturday, they like to drink, they like to party. Not all of them, but some do. But you have to have a code that everybody in your team follows, even if they're young, like parents, they're young. I'm going to tell you what our code was. Our code was show up, which means you come to practice. Show up. I don't care what you did last night, you show up 6 o'clock in the morning, we had practice, you show up. You pay attention. It's hard to pay attention on a black line. But the great athletes pay attention to the drills, to the things that Russell was talking about. The great athletes can do that while their head's in the water. So you show up, you pay attention, you tell the truth. You never lie, you tell the truth. And then your effort, you honor your team with your effort. So I honor Vishnu. I honor him with my effort to be a part of the team. My effort is how I honor him. And that's how you build. You can't violate those. It's okay. You party too much Saturday night, you're a teenager, you're in college, that's gonna happen. You had a fight with someone on the team because your personalities are different, that's gonna happen. You did something in school that wasn't good, it's going to happen. But you must show up. You must pay attention. You must tell the truth. You must honor your team with your effort. Can't break those rules. On the Olympic team, our national team, it was respect, pride, and unity. Respect your opponent. Respect your teammates. Respect the staff. Respect the process. Be proud that you're representing the United States of America. Be proud. There's millions of people that are going to watch you on television. Be proud. And the other was unity. It's us versus them. We're together. This is us versus them. And so those are the things that you come up with your own code. Whatever code that you think is important. Could be 2 things, 3 things, 4 things, not too many. But whatever that code is, that's what your program stands for. That's what you stand for. That's what your community, your school, whatever, that stands for that.
Oke, jadi saya yang paling akhir dulu saya sampaikan ya, ini penting dan bagus ya, respect, pride, and unity di tim Amerika ya. Jadi respect antar pernah, respect ke pelatih, respect ke staff, respect ke rival atau lawan juga. Nah ini penting. Kemudian yang kedua pride, kebanggaan, membela Amerika, membela Indonesia ya. Jadi jangan cuma gaya-gayaan masuk timnas tapi nggak ada pride-nya ya, jangan. Dan yang terakhir unity ya, persatuan. Nggak ada saya lawan dia tapi kita lawan mereka ya. Jadi kita lawan mereka bukan saya lawan dia. Jadi persatuan itu yang penting. Dan tadi disampaikan juga ada aturan di tim ya. Kadang-kadang weekend mungkin main atau jalan dan sampai malam, mungkin sampai begadang, tapi tidak ada alasan hari Senin pagi mereka tetap harus hadir latihan, harus jujur terhadap pelatih, terhadap sesama peran dan saling menghormati.
Okay, the last page is, I don't really need to talk about it a lot. It's just the various competitions. So local swim committee, your team, your community. These are the A time, AA, AAA. These are time standards. You get better. Then there was a meet called the Futures Meet that was for 19 and under. Sectional meet was for anyone. The junior nationals, the senior nationals, and then the Olympic trials. And that's the way the structure works in the United States. So, thank you. I hope I've given you some information on some things that will help you with your team. And because we're a team, we're all a team. Swimming, swim coaches, we're a team. Does anybody have any questions?
Oke, ada pertanyaan. Sebelumnya saya jelaskan sedikit. Ini adalah tahapan ya, kenapa renang Amerika itu mempunyai regenerasi yang sangat baik dan terbaik di dunia. Jadi mungkin ada dari pemula sampai dengan Olympic Trials. Jadi tahapan-tahapannya itu jelas. Kita akan coba di PB Aquatic meniru ini karena ini adalah hal yang terbaik yang bisa kita coba terapkan. Pertanyaan?
Oke, terima kasih. Oke, Coach, I want to ask you, what is your training strategy if you have 2 types of swimmer with the same technique, but different height, such as
Same swimmers with different heights.
oh, okay, such as Michael Phelps and Joseph School is the high and then low. Seperti di Indonesia ya. Di Indonesia.
So how do you teach a swimmer like the height of the guys and the height of the swimmer, which is so much different? So how do you teach them something like that?
Okay.
I would find out whatever their strengths are. So, I used to think Janet Evans. Remember Janet Evans? Does everybody remember Janet Evans?
Yeah.
Short little girl who had straight arm freestyle. I think God gave Janet Evans. She was all lung. Her whole body was one lung. That's what I think. Because you would not teach that stroke. But she never got tired. So I used to think that she was just a big lump with 2 legs and 2 arms. And determination. My point is that it doesn't matter the size. You want to teach you want to look and see what they have, what their body looks like. Like sometimes kids that have sort of a reverse bowed leg are great kickers. Maybe their feet are bigger, maybe their hands are bigger, maybe their hands are smaller. I think it's important that you look at their body type as you start to train them, and you figure out what you think is going to be something that they can do better than him. He's taller. Water can be a great equalizer. It's not like playing basketball, you know. Shorter guys, we're going to be shooting. Guys like this, they're going to be rebounding. You just have to decide what their strengths and what their weaknesses. Does that make sense?
Let me try to explain. Jadi pertanyaannya adalah bagaimana sih kita melatih ya perenang dengan dua fisik yang berbeda, yang satu tinggi, yang satu mungkin tidak pendek tapi tidak terlalu tinggi. Nah, intinya adalah karena kita ini perenang ya, kita mengajar renang itu menggunakan media air. Jadi media air itu seolah-olah menetralisir perbedaan tersebut. Seperti Janet Evans mungkin tidak terlalu tinggi tapi dia tidak pernah capek ya. Jadi mungkin paru-paru kapasitas itu terlalu besar. Jadi dia tidak pernah capek walaupun pendek, dia terus bisa melakukan speed berenang dengan speed yang konstan. Jadi kita harus melihat perbedaannya. Kelebihan kekurangan tadi yang kita harus lihat, kekurangannya terus kita tutup dengan melatih kekurangan tersebut untuk bisa menjadi kelebihannya. Ya, jadi dilihat aja perbedaannya. Pokoknya tidak seperti main basket tadi disampaikan. Kalau basket kan mungkin kalau pendek dia pasti di blok. Kalau di air kan kita berenang horizontal. Dan di air itu bisa berat jenis air dari badan itu kan itu lebih teknis. Oke, harus saya jadi equal lagi, sama lagi. Bagus.
Coach, I have a 14 years old boy in my team. He's a kind of serious swimmer. He's a good swimmer actually. And for him, every race should be best time. Okay, while the parent is also a demanding parent, ex-athlete, and even though the parent never said anything bad after the race, but the face shows it, right? So it's kind of a big homework for me always, every time he race and not get the best time, to build the confidence back to the practice. So it takes more than a week to make sure that his confidence level already ready to come back to the pool to practice this. And for myself, my experience is not beneficial for the continuation of the program. So could you please share what's your trick or your strategy in handling this situation, Coach?
That's very difficult. It's very hard. That's the hardest part of being a coach. It's trying to figure out how to get someone because of the watch. Happy, sad. Happy, sad. You know, quick, 2/10, 3/10. You need to just talk to him. Talk to him ask him what his feelings are about swimming, and that you, in order to get better, some things that you think he needs to do. Let him know that there's going to be times. Michael Phelps, it's not always like that. I mean, there's always a dip, especially when you're training harder before you go. So you have to sit down with him and let him tell you what his parents think too, just between the two of you. That when I go home, my parents are very sad. They don't talk to me. They tell me I should stop swimming. They tell me I should do something else or whatever. Let him talk to him. You establish a relationship, so you begin to see what's going on in his life, and then you begin to do things that you think that he needs to do in order to be better. Maybe it's going to spend more time with his technique. Maybe it's going to spend more time kicking. Maybe it's going to spend more time getting stronger. Whatever it's going to do, you begin to develop a plan and share that with him. Say, this is what we need to do. If you go 1 minute in the freestyle now. Next time we're going to try to do 59. We need to do these things. And then in practice, we need to be able to swim 50s that are under a minute, that are under 30 seconds. You know, we want to start swimming 50s in practice when you're 28, 27, because then you go your first 50 in 27, and you come back in 29, then you're swimming at 56. You know, you start making that plan for him, but you talk to him about it, and make sure he agrees with you. Not, he needs to know the plan. You need to make sure he knows the plan. Let him tell you what's going on in his life, especially at home, because it sounds like his parents, like you said, you can see their face. Who knows what they're saying when they get home? They may be saying, your coach is bad, we need to move to another team. You don't know, but you need to communicate and show him the ways in which you think you can make him better. And if you can get him to believe in that, then you got a chance. But it's very, very difficult. It's so hard. But just tell them that the best in the world don't swim their best time every time they swim. So many times they're like this, and they dip down a little bit, and then when they get rested, then they start to swim fast again. Swimming is a grind. It's hard. It's every day. But better technique, more strength, more kicking, things that you can do, that you can set up as a plan. But what goes on up here is everything. I understand that. Very hard.
Okay, one more question. Tadi yang di belakang.
Yeah, break.
Hi, Coach. I've got two questions. First, do you think great swimmers are born or were they made? And secondly, from your years of coaching, did you have to change your approach, coaching different generations? You know, we had the Generation X, the Gen Y, Gen Z, and we're talking about the Alpha generation today. Did you have to change your approach? Thank you.
Okay, this is my philosophy of life. There are two things that everyone has control over. All of you. Two things. Your effort and your attitude. Your effort and your attitude. I control mine. Vishnu controls his. He controls his. Terrence controls his. Russell. Your attitude and your effort. If you have a bad attitude, if you don't put effort into it, those are your control. How much talent you have, how smart you are, that's what you've been given. But if you don't understand physics, you can study hard and you can understand it better. But the person next to you is so smart they don't have to study physics, they just know it. But that's life. But you can outwork them and you can have a better attitude than they have. So life is not fair. And you need to tell your students that too. Just say, for instance, effort, attitude, talent. Effort. Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. You have an athlete that 9, 10. Attitude, 9, 10. Talent, 3, 4. 9 plus 9 is 18, plus 4 is 22 out of 30. Probably not going to be an Olympic champion. But They can still be very good. That might be Southeast Asian finalists. Because they have nine, but they're not very talented. But someone like Michael Phelps, 9 or 10, 9 or 10, 9 or 10, 3 9s are 27, 3 10s are 30, Olympic gold medalist. 2 things he could control: his effort, how hard he worked, and his attitude. I want it. But he also had great talent. So, you ask me if great swimmers are born, or do they learn to be great? Those are the categories, in my opinion. Did I change how I coach? Yes, absolutely. You have to change. People are different. You have to be a different motivator. You know, there was a time when you said, this is what we're doing, and no one would question it. But today, you say, this is what we're doing, I want to know why. And that's okay. You got to explain why. So, that's how I think. And when someone comes up to you and goes, I go to practice every day. I do this every day. I come to practice, I try hard. I come to practice every day. I beat Vishnu every day. But in all the swim meets, he beats me. It's not fair. It's not fair. He's very talented. But the only way I might beat him is if I outwork him. So my effort, my attitude, I want to beat him. I want to beat him. But you can't sit there and go, I can't beat him. I can't beat him. Well, then quit. Stop. So, life's not fair. But that's the way it works.
Jadi ini bagus sekali tadi pertanyaannya, bagaimana cara menyiasati atlet-atlet yang mungkin Gen Y, Gen Z, millennials ya, mereka menghadapi program tuh kadang-kadang nanya kenapa harus gini, kenapa harus gitu. Jadi tadi sampaikan oleh Frank ada 3 kategori tadi, hard work, ya, kemudian komitmen tadi sama talent. Ya. Kalau ketiga-tiganya bisa di angka 9 aja, itu seperti Michael Phelps bisa jadi juara dunia atau Olimpik. Tapi kalau hard work, komitmen dan sebagainya bagus hard work, tapi talentnya mungkin agak kurang, ya bisa jadi juara SEA Games lah. Ya atau sebaliknya, jadi di mix aja seperti apa komposisinya. Intinya adalah kadang-kadang orang yang mempunyai bakat lebih itu mereka merasa bahwa mereka sudah cukup, latihan tidak perlu terlalu keras. Tapi kadang-kadang ada orang yang talentnya kurang, dia sudah berusaha sebaik mungkin tetap masih kalah. Nah itu harus tetap berusaha. Jadi intinya jangan pernah menyerah.
There's one saying, I'll leave you with this. It's in a lot of the weight rooms and a lot of the locker rooms in the United States. It says, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Ya, jadi banyak istilah hard work beats talent ya, kerja keras mengalahkan bakat, sedangkan bakat tidak akan bekerja keras. Thank you. So, can I say something?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, just 30 seconds. Yeah. Jadi teman-teman sebentar aja. Jadi merangkum apa yang tadi disampaikan oleh Coach Frank. Jadi ini banyak sekali yang kita pelajari. Mungkin teman-teman sudah ada yang pernah ikut ASKA sebelumnya, tapi yang kali ini dengan Frank tentunya mungkin dari konteksnya itu menurut saya sangat bagus sekali kalau kita bisa terapkan, walaupun memang tantangannya banyak di Indonesia. Ya, jadi dari parents club, bahkan dari komunitas juga, ya. Tapi kita akan coba, ya saya mewakili PB Aquatic, ini akan kita coba untuk bisa menciptakan jenjang pembinaan regenerasi yang lebih baik lagi. Karena kita punya populasi yang cukup banyak, dengan adanya training atau seminar-seminar pelatihan seperti ini, kita harapkan teman-teman di sini ya bisa menghasilkan atlet-atlet nasional, bahkan internasional kalau bisa masuk kualifikasi Olimpiade. Karena setelah ini kita akan juga coba berdiskusi dengan Askar untuk bagaimana kita coba mensimulasikan dan memformulasikan gimana sih jenjang pembinaan dari usia dini sampai juga usia elit seperti itu. Ya, mudah-mudahan berguna, dan ini saya sih terus terang sangat menarik ya dari semua klinik yang ada, karena ini konsep dan blueprintnya cukup bagus untuk di Indonesia. Makasih.
Terima kasih Pak Wisnu. Thank you very much, Coach Frank. A lot of treasures there. I learned a lot, and I believe all of you as well. Right? More to come. Are you excited? Yes. So keep your questions coming. We're going to have a break. Now it's 9:50. We will come back into the hall at after half an hour. That's 10:20. Okay? So 10:19. Jam harus saya bahasa Indonesia 10:20. Okay? 10:20 kembali ke tempat di sini. Terima kasih. Enjoy your tea. Next session is with Coach Russell.